Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hi there. Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being here. I am the nerd, and this is the Marketing is Mind Control podcast, and I appreciate you being here. You rock, and you are the reason that I'm here. Whatever reason brought you here, whatever stream of marketing that landed you to this website or podcast or wherever you clicked on the link from, I'm glad. And if you could tell me which one it was, I would like to know because if you're listening, I want to benefit you. And if there's more people like you, I want to find them. I think you are an amazing person. And I think that marketing has probably beat you down over the years. And so this podcast over the next year is going to take a turn from what it has been in the past. So if you stumble on old episodes, don't mind them. But the new ones, we're going to go a different route because it's just the way I want to go. So I believe everything is mind control. That's not an accusation, it's an observation. And language shapes perception, stories guide decisions, design nudges behavior. And once you understand that, the question isn't whether you're being influenced, it's kind of whether you're participating consciously or running someone else's script, you know? And most people don't fail at marketing because they're bad at it. They fail because they're trapped in the noise. Hooks, trends, fake lies, metrics that feel productive, but they never turn into like real appointments or butts in seats as we called it when I was in the beauty industry. If you've ever thought something like I'm doing everything they say and it's just not working for me, you're not broken and it's not you. They probably paid for an ad and it was probably social proof that they got from, a third country that they could get cheap ads from for giant views and then had a few real comments and it made it look fantastic. So please don't judge yourself against others and think that you're broken because you're not. You've been over programmed. Your whole algorithm is messed up and everything that's telling you that's going to succeed, it might work, but it might not, and there's not really other options for you. So I'm trying to give you options here. But before we go into that and what the podcast is going to be about, I wrote a book last year called Hey, Guess It. Marketing is Mind Control. It is available on Amazon, and it's a short read. It's just a little ebook. I don't have it in print. I'm going to read you a little introduction here because I think it's important. And there's a concept that I don't think um, is known when we think about marketing and why things are posted the way they are and why there's shock value and why sex sells and all these kinds of things. And since some certain stuff is trending right now, Happy New Year 2026, I'm going to talk about it. So if I'm not going to read the introduction, but in the first chapter, we talk about the invention of desire. So if you're interested in this book, you can find it sometimes for free. Otherwise, it's like $5 on Amazon. Okay, so it's called Marketing is Mind Control. Here's chapter one, The Invention of Desire. And I wrote this, so I have permission to read this in case anyone's listening and wants to get me in trouble. Okay, so it says, let's rewind to the birth of advertising as we know it. Enter Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud. What? Did you know that it was that connected at the start? You know who Freud is, right? The sexual Freudian slips that control the masses? Well, it goes even deeper. The 1920s, Bernays took his uncle's psychoanalysis theories and said, cool, let's use these to sell bacon and war. I wasn't present, so I'm not sure if the thought process was more in depth, but the basis of that realization was that the understanding of how a brain works with given variables, you could control the variables to get a reaction you wanted, purchase. I.e., you make people hungry, they remember you. Make people feel sexy, they remember you, and so on. It's all neurological. Brands began tapping into the reward centers of the brain, dopamine hits that associated a product with pleasure. Worse, some ads activate insecurity or trauma and offer the product as a fix. And now you kind of need it now because it'll fix your problem, right? I just said that. It wasn't in the book freely. Okay, so that's not an accident. That's programming. Think about it: music, lighting, scent. None of it's random. Fast food chains, the engineered smells to trigger cravings before you even see the burger or the fries. Grocery stores place flowers and baked goods up front to trick your brain into feeling comfort and abundance. It's not marketing, It's mood control. Every ad is a cocktail of chemistry: dopamine for desire, cortisol for urgency, oxytocin for trust. And you thought it was just a limited time offer. When you smell fresh cookies, hear a nostalgic song, or see a child laughing in a bank commercial, it's not because the ad is sweet. It's because those emotions lower your resistance and spike your receptivity. The brain is being primed to associate safety, comfort, and need with a product. Whether or not it actually provides any of those things, or if you need it at all. Bernays was literally known as the father of public relations, which is a fancy way of saying he figured out how to psychologically steer masses of people without them knowing. He helped turn cigarettes into symbols of women's liberation. For example, he hired debutantes to march in the 1929 Easter Parade in New York City, lighting Lucky Strikes and calling them torches of freedom. It was staged as a women's liberation stunt, but funded by Big Tobacco. Sales spiked, public perception shifted, and the feminist movement got hijacked for profit. That campaign was one of the first examples that we now call cause marketing, attaching a product to a movement so people feel good about buying. Today it's rainbow packaging in June and body positivity soap commercials. Next time you see someone doing a casual get ready with me reel with a $60 CM and a $4,000 kitchen backsplash, ask yourself, are they really just sharing? Or are you being sold a life? Are some of these sincere? Maybe. But you have to ask, would they still support the cause if it didn't convert to more sales? Their marketing teams literally have calendars and discussions, and the discussions go, okay, so we have Women's History Month. We should use insert this public figure to feature. She pulls a big following, and she was quoted at loving out blah 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 they're pushing, but I'm sure it's all heartfelt empowerment of women and their natural divine glory. Also, Bernay made bacon and eggs the American breakfast. And while this might seem unrelated, it's all part of the same beast. When companies have too much of something and want it gone before it spoils, they call in their advertising team and spin it into a sale that makes people want it when they haven't yet. Marketing was never neutral. From its inception, it's been about engineering desire for a purpose of the engineer, which is usually profit. The media wasn't just a place to put ads, it became the ad. Think of the shows, the characters, the music. It's all syncing up with lifestyles that ads were selling. Entire generations were shaped by a shared emotional programming script, reinforced between sitcoms and serial jingles. But desire is a slippery thing, and it can be planted, nurtured, or entirely fabricated. And in doing so, it's fake. Is your favorite snack actually your favorite? Or was it just the one that showed up in the most comforting ad during childhood and you were given it? Did you choose that car, or did you buy a logo that came with the lifestyle promise baked into your subconscious since adolescence? When everything is a campaign, how do you even trust your own tastes? Which leads you to wonder what is real anymore. And I'm going to leave it there. It's a longer, book. There's a little bit more in that chapter, but I just marketing is mind control on Amazon. Get the book. But I don't, it didn't necessarily start as manipulation marketing in a sense. It was just promotion, I guess some people think it as. And you have to frame promotion so that people want it. You have to entice. But it started as communication, before algorithms, before funnels, before the dopamine dashboards. People built trust by showing their work and explaining their thinking and letting people, see the right to self-select. But there was always that advertising agency that was known to grab extra attention, right? So I think the digital era brought in more of the spell casting, or whatever you want to call it in the corporate world, where you throw money at things and you make things look like they're much needed and you create demand. But the persuasion, it got optimized at some point. There's a psychology met scale, behavior science met automation, and suddenly marketing wasn't just about clarity, it was about control. That's the matrix most business owners are stuck in. And it's not because they're naive, it's because they're busy and it's what they're told to do. Now, this show exists to help you step out of that, not to reject marketing, even though I do, and I often act like it. You're going to find a lot of negative Nancy from me, but that's why I bring on positive guests who are current managing business owners who can help you in those things because I can, and I will probably say yes. But I'm a negative Nancy right now, and I've got other things going on, and social media marketing really makes me grind my gears. So if I'm supposed to post a happy quote for you, it might have a snark in it, and I don't want to do that to you. So I've created a list for you, but we'll get to that later. But anyway, I don't want to reject marketing altogether. I do want to help you reclaim it, and I need to reclaim it myself for some new projects we're doing that are totally not needing of a negative Nancy. So we're gonna go through this together, okay? And I think that's important because we talk about history because it matters, and this matters. Not in a fear based way, but in like a literacy way. You know, where tactics come from, they stop owning you. We look at research, sometimes serious, sometimes happy, often ick, because curiosity breaks spells better than outrage ever could. And outrage is loud. And so we have to get past that too. We have to get there and then we have to go further. And we spend just as much time showing what works when it's done right in this podcast. I'm not going to just drone on about what's wrong. I'm trying to find you light at the end of the tunnel, okay? So here's what you're going to see on this show: conversations with business owners who stopped chasing attention and built systems that quietly fill their calendars. I might not tell you how to do that, but I am going to bring on a few experts that I've found who are amazing at that and have wonderful packages if you want to get in touch with them, or free systems. And we're also going to go through some case studies of brands that grow without burning trust or their founders, right? You don't want to burn out founders either. So, we're also going to look at experts who do things differently and managers who understand operations, not just optics. We're also going to look at builders who value sustainability over virality or get it on WordPress. We expose when it's necessary. We highlight tools when they're genuinely useful. We're not trying to dog on anybody, but if something is not working, I might mention that. We recommend methods that respect both the audience and the operator. And yes, we're building a database, but I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to give it to people, and it's not going to be third party marketing sales database where you're going to get 70 emails because you watched our podcast. Okay. It's going to be because we're doing a living directory of managers, strategists, operators, and specialists of creative abilities who are available for hire, and then the businesses who might need to hire them or know somebody that does, and that's pretty much everybody. So if you want to join the ethical marketing movement, that's why you'll hear me advertise that, and it's a free movement. You can join it and get on our newsletter list, and that's where that goes. That's it. I mean, you don't have to ever buy anything from us again. You can give me your email address. I promise I won't sell it, and we can call that a day. Thank you for listening. However, there's more to that, right? We're trying to bridge and make real bridges to bridge gaps for business owners. The problems they actually face are problems, and we're not gurus, we're not influencers, we're professionals. And I did train influencers, so I apologize if I sometimes sound salesy and I know how to do the follow in bio type shit. Okay? Sorry. But it is what it is. Anyway, so this year, the episodes won't follow a rigid schedule. I'll try that. It's probably not going to work. I'm not going to post every Monday, Marketing Monday. Can't do that. But because real conversations don't get scheduled like that, I'm going to work them out. We've got a few already on the books. I've got a few coming up. And then there's a lot of people that said that they would jump into a conversation booth with us. So when they get recorded and they get produced, I will announce it and you can watch it. Once we get on a schedule, that might change. But guest interviews will air hopefully during the week. And then hopefully on the weekends, we'll have hot takes, breakdowns, opinion pieces, recaps of the week's news, stuff like that. Right now, I've got myself and a couple other hosts, but we're going to focus on the nerd content for now until I have the other hosts in line for what they want to do. We aren't doing visuals. This is a podcast. This will be listening content. I cannot promise they will be 10 minutes and under. I cannot promise they will be an hour and under. But, listen as much as you want to. It's just going to be audio, though, just thinking and just relief from the noise and things to think about. So, at the core of all of this is just one simple idea, okay? Ethical marketing is slower at the top, but unstoppable over time. You don't necessarily need to post every day. Your goal might require it, but we can work on that. You don't need to dance or shake your booty, but if you want to, you could. You don't need to trick people into clicking. They will. It'll hurt. You'll need clarity, actually, and positioning, and a system that lets your best fit clients find you without pressure. That's why we're building a course, okay? And I have it available. It's on Amazon. I haven't launched it. By the time you're listening to it, hopefully it's up there. It's a 1-day course that will take you about 7 hours to go through. You could do it in a day. That's the point. But you can do it as long as you want to. And once you know the system, you can do it as many times as you want to and just keep this workbook as a guide for yourself. But it's a one focus session. You build your entire attraction based static post. These aren't reels. We can go through that together in another time. So you build your entire attraction based static post marketing campaign for the year without burnout, without manipulation, without losing your voice and your brand and jumping into memes that don't make sense because you thought it was funny at 3 a.m. It's coming soon in a step-by-step course and on Amazon. You'll be able to either walk through it with us and have, like webinars and groups and stuff, or you could just buy the workbook, do it yourself. But if you want to be notified or if you want to be a part of the broader ethical marketing movement, sign up today or whenever you're hearing this. Okay, no pressure. Facetsofhospitality.com. You'll find that under the ethical marketing movement. You'll also find our shop. Please find our marketing merch and other fun merch, conspiracy merch, and graphic tees. Those have a lot of purposes, and we try to benefit the creator of the merch. So if you find something cool, let us know that you're using it, wearing it, writing in it, whatever it is. Thank you so much. So, last things here, marketing is mind control, and we're just going to use it consciously. Okay. We're going to build systems that respect people, businesses that last, and strategies that feel more like alignment instead of a performance. Because once you understand this matrix, you don't have to fight it. You just have to stop feeding it. All right. Thank you for being here. You rock.
Yeah, they flash the logo, you drink the Kool-Aid. Mind on mute, it's just how you do. Monarch scripts in an Instagram spell. Smile for the brand while you're locked in a cell. I don't need your nod or your fragile dates. I'm here for the mess, the glitches, the bitches. Marketing's the leash, and I broke offline. Let's hash it out, breaking control. You'll take it out of the matrix. See the code and learn how to decline. Marketing is mind control.
This episode was graciously sponsored by our friends who understand the need for celiac-safe food and our love of sourdough bread. Get all your gluten-free goodies, and yes, they ship if you're not in Central Valley, California. The Bakery. Buy Indulge Right, and you can find all of their information at indulgeright.com or follow them on Instagram at The Bakery by Indulge Right. Yes, every single thing they make is 100% gluten-free and celiac-safe. They have a full restaurant menu in Clovis, and their options include things that are for everyone. Sugar-free items, keto items, vegan items. It's amazing. But you'll never find any peanuts, soy, or wheat. Thanks, Chef V. We love what you do.